My name is Rob Terry. I'm the Freak on TNA Impact Wrestling. I'm originally from Wales in the UK. I've been training for the best part of 16 years. Training has always been a huge part of my life. From when I first started playing sports in school, growing up as a kid, playing rugby, football, which is soccer to you guys. Plus, I was a big athletics fan, and I competed a lot in track and field. Then it was when at the age of 14 where my dad first took me to the United States and took me to my first gym. And once I went there, trained legs, and that was absolutely the beginning for me because I absolutely fell in love with it. And it was something that I really wanted to pursue. I was a really big fan of a lot of big guys on TV at the time, a lot of action heroes. And I felt like that was my calling in life. So I really trained relentlessly for the best part of 8 years before I actually started competing in competitions, which was again in Wales and the UK. I was very successful. I won Mr. Wales 6 times in 2 federations. I competed in Mr. Britain and I won that 2 times. And then I moved on to do United Kingdom and UK competitions, which was also successful. And then I actually came to the United States and competed as well for the best part 3 times, where I placed in the top 3. And it was in 2006 where I was then turned professional in the organization I was competing in. So I was very happy. That was a lifelong dream, if you like, for me. Which then I was really thankful the opportunity came where I was approached to pursue wrestling. Now, wrestling actually played a huge part of my growing up, obviously because I was a big fan since I can ever remember. Most of the guys that I was a fan of, they were really big jack guys anyway, so it was almost felt like a natural transition to go from bodybuilding to wrestling. It was extremely hard straight off the bat, as rugby or football would be. It's a very physical sport. So I moved over to the United States in 2007. I was trained there for a year, and then eventually I got signed in 2009 with TNA Wrestling, currently known as Impact Wrestling. And then I built a persona as the Freak Rob Terry, which is what I currently am now and is my character on television. So training for me has been a big part of my life all the way through. I owe a lot of my success to my physique. I'm 6'5", 298 pounds, and I'm one of the biggest athletes in the sports entertainment today, if not the biggest athlete. The funny thing is that even before I moved to America and I actually got into Impact Wrestling, I was branded the Freak a long time before that, because when I was at the age of 20, I used to weigh 280 pounds then, and by the time I was 23, I was 320 pounds. So back home in the UK, when I walk around, people would stop and stare. I was used to that, and I am used to that now. So I've always been, and always will be, a huge guy. And you know, it is something that a genetic thing, but it is also something that I work so hard, something that I pride myself on day in, day out, to make the right decisions to look like the way that I do. I never wanted to be ordinary. That was the last thing I ever wanted to be. And I always made sure I had a dream in my mind, that I had a picture of what I wanted to look like. And there was nothing that would stop me from achieving that. And you know, even though some people would say, hey, you know, you look great, I'm never happy, I'm never complacent the way I look. I always look to get freakier, you know, and I think that's what it's about. The second that you start becoming complacent with the way you look, that's when everything ends. You've got to look to the next level, and that's what I've done from day one. And that's what I'll continue to do, because it's all about nutrition, it's all about the supplements, and it's certainly about the training. You know what, I just need to let you know that being a freak is not a part-time job, it's a lifestyle. It's something that you do 24/7, 365 days of the year. And I'm gonna be a freak for the rest of my life. I hope you've learned something from this. And better more, I hope this has motivated you to become one of the freak army. And I look forward to hearing back from each and every one of you on your pursuit to becoming a freak.
What's up, you guys? I'm Ryan Watson. I'm 32 years old, originally from Clearwater, Florida, where I was born and raised, where I started out playing soccer, baseball, and then I went into high school. I started playing football, and that was also my introduction into weight training. And from that point forward, I was immediately in love with, I feel like, the training aspect more than the actual football aspect. Even though I was a tremendous athlete and a hell of a football player, I always loved training for the game, and the weight room was you know, my main sanctuary, and I loved, you know, just training and getting myself better. I always felt so optimistic about, you know, boosting my physique up and boosting my athletic skills up to go into battle, to go into war, and so I think that's where I really fell in love. And I was a good enough athlete. I was able to get a full-ride scholarship to Appalachian State University, where I went on to become an All-American defensive tackle. And then from there I went on to play in the NFL for several years with the Tennessee Titans and the Atlanta Falcons. And it wasn't until that point where I started getting a lot of neurological symptoms in my neck and in my arm, and which I'd never felt before. I was getting a lot of stinger. They call it a stinger, which is a burning sensation on the arm, temporary loss of control in your arm. And so basically brought me to a point where I could no longer play anymore and had to remove myself from the game and hang up the cleats. And that was a very traumatic time in my life. And I reached some critical crossroads in my life. I had to do a lot of soul searching and was kind of confused. I had played football pretty much all my life. Didn't know what direction to turn. I knew I had a major problem with my neck. I knew I couldn't return to the game. And shortly after, I had some scans done and whatnot. Turns out I had a very large bone tumor in my spine, and that bony tumor would actually end up being benign, thank God, but still had to have half of 2 of my vertebrae removed, and I had to get 5 discs fused together with titanium rods, so I got a lot of metal in my neck. I feel like that just, you know, as being part of a man, the true aspect of being a man is how much adversity you can overcome, and how much you can accomplish after you've been kicked and beat down to the ground, and it's about how you get up and how you react to the circumstance. And I think that over the years, just doing all the training and whatnot, I feel like that the best aspect to me of being a freak is not having a great physique and not being strong, but it's actually the mentality that you take on. It's the warrior inside of you. It's the heart and the soul. It's the work ethic and the discipline and the character it takes for you to become a real freak. And I'll never forget, as I was growing up, I was always actually like a little chubby kid, and had a little stomach, you know, and I would never forget my best friend. He'd always call me a fat ass, you know, he'd always pick on me and whatnot. And that still sticks to me to this day. I'm 32 years old, and that was like when I was 10, 12 years old. And it's funny how things work. Now, he you know, the guy's been in and out of jail. He's hooked on Oxycontins. I don't even know if he's still alive. You know, here I am living my dream, my lifestyle. You know, I've been a professional football player. I'm a fitness model. I'm the best personal trainer there is in Florida. We're trying to become the best, well-known, recognized trainer in the nation. I'm living my passion. I'm making fitness products. I'm getting people in shape across the nation. You know, working on reaching people overseas, worldwide. Just trying to build an army of freaks, you know, and trying to really help everybody go to that next level. You know, anybody out there that's just not happy with being fit, or trying to push themselves to the extreme, trying to really challenge themselves, that's what we created this program for. And so here I am, Ryan Watson. I want to thank you guys very much for purchasing the program, and you know, it's time to take you guys on to the next step, the next level, and looking forward to getting your emails and your testimonials back, and seeing if we can build an army of 1 million freaks out there. So thanks again.